I'm so stoked to have this gentleman on here with me. I've actually wanted him on a few times, and he has blessed me with the privilege of having him on tonight. And I know we did start this a little soon, but we did this in the convenience of him because it was worth it. But this is Bert, and we are going to have a good discussion about a few things. The upcoming of the NSL, Real Strike, Monk Customs is a lot of people of how people know him, or his involvement with Second to None. I mean, a lot of us are fans of them. Uh, but I figure y'all can jump into the comments, give us any questions that you have, any responses, anything along them lines. Please let us know if there's any technical issues going on, any echoing, or anything along them lines. Just have us know. Uh, but I'm looking forward to it. So if I could, I'm gonna kind of hand it over to you real quick, Bert, and basically if you can give me a rundown of who you are, and this would be a good way for us to test if all technicalities or technical stuff is working.
Yeah. Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for having me, Steve. My name is Bert. I'm the owner of Area 57. Actually, under that umbrella is Monk Customs, Real Strike, um, NSL, back. It's all under that same umbrella. Everything had a reason. I hope we can explain a lot of that. I was responsible for the last 3 years for Speak2B Europe. I'm still responsible for the brand Speak2B in Europe. And yeah, and I know some people who are playing the Speedsoft game, and yeah, that's me. Try to try to add something to the Airsoft sport, and I hope it's working.
It's definitely working. From my perspective on my end and what I see over here, it seems to be working. A lot of us tend to, I mean, I've mentioned this to, Fives or Demi or just different individuals that I've had the privilege of meeting over there. Well, not meeting, but meeting through here. That a lot of us do point our eyes to what y'all have going on over there. It's very, I mean, we can't help it. And I do. I mean, I don't want to toot your horn too much, but we do call it almost like the holy grail of airsoft. What we love to do and what we love to see
Oh,
is right there. So basically, to portray, hey, what do y'all have going on there, and how can we apply it here? Like the discussion with Demi that we had on here not too long ago. He gave us some really good insights of things and how the game was played there, some different rules and such. And it really showed. You're not playing it as a weekend warrior thing. The real
mhm.
competitive sport to it really, really shows, and that is something that I mean, I know I speak for so many people when I say it. That is something that we wanted here. It's something that we're progressing towards, and we look at y'all for the standard. What is the standard of this? And it's like, what are y'all doing? What do y'all have got? With Real Strike and everything. So, which will bring me into my first question. If somebody doesn't know where Real Strike is, you are living under a rock. But I'm sure that
A
most
big
of these,
rock.
yeah, I'm sure that most of y'all do know where it is and what it is. But if you could, man, give me a little rundown on Real Strike. How did Real Strike start?
Oh man. Well, it started actually with weekend warriors. To be honest, it's like I was before with Area 57. We were actually an event organization, and we organized some weekend events, and well, all wanted to be the soldier and the hero there, and we could organize some big events. We had trucks and we had cars and we had the biggest things that were necessary, and really a little bit American, for Europe. That was not everybody has that field, or the big events, and we were definitely not Milsim. Definitely not, because I cannot organize Milsim if you've never been in the military. So I was never in the military. That's why we always say we play game sim. I was a gamer. I like gaming. So everything was actually focused on gaming. So I tried to make the games as cool as possible, and we did that on some big fields, outdoor fields, and yeah, we just want to give the people fun, and they come when they came on a Saturday or they came for a whole weekend. They need to have something like, okay, this is what we're looking forward to, and they definitely knew they got everything that what you need to get at home, and say, okay, mom, or okay, honey, I was a soldier for 2 days. That was the idea.
Sorry to cut you.
With a glow stick, yeah, but with a toy gun. And well, but I have to be honest that I had too many weekend warriors, and 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 I'm a really sport committed person. You know, sports for me is something that I always did in my life, loved in my life, and I needed it in my life. So, but I couldn't find that sporty thing. So with my last field, Wild Mountain, for many people still known Wild Mountain because I built a complete outdoor village and we did crazy things. Even there, we drove with big American GMC trucks around and everything there. But they were all high pace games, and so you didn't came with a for an event and one game was for 3 hours. No, these games were 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and my goal was you have to go home before 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I want to get you killed. You have to be naked. And for many people it worked, but that made it exciting for me. But I still miss that sporty thing. And one day I decided I had a meeting with my best friend. He worked for me and almost more than 15 years. My right hand, Dion, and I said, I know, but you're gonna miss me now for the next 2 weeks because I'm flying in. I'm going into the plane and I'm just gonna see something I saw online, and I saw a video of Speaker B. Flew over to LA and there I saw the first starts of how Speaker B was. What was Speaker B? And that was the first thing I really saw. Oh, this could be sport. This could be something. It triggered me. And well, the guys they really were very open. We had some good meetings, and then I introduced Speaker B into Europe, and then Real Strike came because that was a question, and so we needed a good location to do that. But before we had Real Strike, I built a Bunde. I built a complete. The first official Speaker B field was in Bunde, but it was just there for one big event. It was in May 2019, I think. But the government there, it didn't work out. I didn't want to lose time, and then we went, and then the thing Real Strike Arena came up, and I said, okay, for the sport, we really need to build an arena where everything is there, where you have turf, and it's not only turf, so it's not concrete and then turf. No, it's concrete, and then you have an extra layer where if you fall, you're not falling too hard, and then the turf is on there. I want to have people on the tribune; they can watch it. I want to have a director's room where all the things for the cameras, and I want a commentator room, and I want a VIP room. And that's where we started to build. And there was a death tunnel. And I wanted that the changing rooms, the dressing rooms were actually connected to the field. That when you're ready, you go out of your dressing room and you're already in the game because you're in the death tunnel. So they are connected to the death tunnel. And and then we start building it. And with the material, a lot of material we had from the field we had before. And we start building, and then Real Strike Arena actually start coming alive. But next to that, we built 2 extra indoor CQB fields in Real Strike Arena too, because a lot of people don't know that. But there are 2 enormous, great CQB fields in the Real Strike Arena, where we're going to play, where we're going to organize some Dash Masters, and with a Battle Arena, we're going to do the Battle Arena. I don't know if you ever heard about that, but it's a big cool event where you can make a sport of normal and regular airsoft. And that's how a Real Strike Arena started. So then we launched actually 2 years ago. We launched the first PKB event on Real Strike Arena. After we built the biggest event arena we ever did, and I was in Rotterdam, and we were there on a big game exhibition, and it was DreamHack, and we were on DreamHack, and yeah, and that made it complete for me. That was like, okay, now we're gonna execute it, and now we're gonna do the sport, and everything is focused on the sport. This is how Real Strike started.
I had no clue that there was a CQB field right there. Like
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There were
now,
two.
now I feel like I've been living under the rock. Like I had no clue that it was there.
Yeah, we built complete. We call it the Vault. So it's a concept. It's a CQB concept where you play 5v5. It's actually a kind of bank heist. And then we have the CQB field next to that. It's a Dash Masters, a 1v1 concept. It's really cool. But more about that in combination with KWA. And that you will hear about it soon. Soon.
Yeah, if it's an involvement with KWA, I'm sure that we would definitely know about this one.
Yeah.
So how'd y'all come up with the name Real Strike? Like, how did that? I mean, just the name is so appealing. But
Oh, that's easy because again, it all started with this the CQB stuff. It was because I said I'm not from the Milsim because I'm from the games and again, and from there it was Counter Strike, but Counter Strike was a game, so I want to have a real thing that's going on. That's how Real Strike came. It's Counter Strike, but I want to do Counter Strike, but then for real, and then Real Strike came up.
it
And
just
then we
kind of, it just
started.
clicked. It just works.
And that's it. And that's how the name Real Strike came. It's yeah, yeah. We are we behind every name we have a story. Behind
I
every
love it.
brand we have a story.
I love
Yeah.
it. A reasoning for it. So when y'all first opened up, when you first opened up Real Strike and see the CQB field and all that such, did you already have a pretty good, I don't know, drawing of players, or was it, since you've opened, have you expanded on players as in
I started
teams
with
and
I
stuff like that?
started with I started with 0 players, and to be honest, I started with 3 players. Um, and I always be grateful for them because I came. Well, before we go to that story, I have to tell a story before that because Real Strike, we did a battle arena contest, a battle arena championships in Finland, the world championship for battle arena, and the Belgium and the Dutch team, and I was traveling with them to Finland, so I brought those 2 teams there, and 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 we were representing the Netherlands and Belgium. And yeah, that's where Dimi he came to my outdoor field. It was Kenny, and it was Dimi's brother Elias, and they were actually in that team who we brought to Finland to play the Battle Arena finals or championships. And then we came back, and in that meantime, I just came back from LA. So I saw that thing, and I had for the first time I really had the feeling like, oh man, this is competition too. And and then we came back, and then I actually went to Kenny van der Ee. He was an old second man player, and I said, Kenny, we need to do something with that. And but he said, it's nothing for me. You like to shoot people, but it was. Nah, I don't think it's. Nah, I don't. You're gonna take a lot of time to get me over to that. And then I talked to Dimi, and Dimi is a sportsman. He has that sport heart.
Yeah.
He has that thing like okay, and I could convince him to see the sport in the game, and then it was actually not that hard because then his brother is in sports too. Elias, and then Kenny came too, and yeah. And they were free. I said, but we can't play with free, so something has to be done. And then they make a video. Then they make a video like, okay, we are second to none, and we are looking for people who wants to play with us, Speak UB. And that started the whole thing. So that started the whole thing. There was nothing there, and yeah, in Bunda, the Speak UB field was not ready yet. So there were some tests, some tryouts, and some tryouts from teams and members, and yeah, I remember that as yesterday. So and then it started, and to be honest, on that moment it popped up, and there were some people who are still in the scene now, but there were some people who are from the beginning in Bunde on those test days. that's where I met Fives. Fives. He's the one, my German friend, big friend. He's tall, man. He's tall. You have to look like that. But he's a young guy, but he's so motivated in the sport. He loves the sport. He breathes the sport. He's eating the sport. He's do everything with the sport, just as Timmy. And then chaos came. I mean, it was second to chaos. It was before, because there were some people who were actually tried to get in the team of second to none, and they called it forgot the name again. I just said it. Second to chaos. That was it. So, and then it started, and then the Reapers came up. I never heard about the Reapers. Yeah, well, actually, they were there already, but they were at my field in Wild Mountain once. But I never heard that they played Speedsoft, or SpeedQB. And then it started, but I went really quick. And then I said, okay, now we're going to open a tournament, and we're going to do the European Championships, because, man, that so many teams from Germany, from France, from the UK, from the Netherlands, from Belgium. It was like all these teams were signed up, and we were actually, it was full in a week. It was full, and then we had to organize actually a big event for the first time, where I had a vision about how to organize it and how to put it into a sport. Yeah. So no, there was no scene.
There was no scene. It
went like, yeah. It was motivating. It was motivation, and it was just putting everything in the sport to make it work, and giving so much publicity and talking to the guys and execute. I think there's a very important thing that a lot of field owners needs to know. Execution is the most important thing. You need to execute, and no excuses. If you can't do it, if you can't pay it, don't do it. But on the moment when you do it, people paying money for it. But the only thing that you need, even if you pay €1 or $1, sorry, or $100 or $500, when you get people home with a big smile on their face, and you see that twinkle in their eyes, like, yeah, it was $500, but it was worth it. You see me next time. Then you did a good job, and that's actually what you want to see. It was every time, and that's what I'm trying to search every time. I'm searching for that answer. It's like I'm asking questions, but I want that feedback back, and it was not verbally, but it was definitely looking in people's eyes to see that twinkle and like, yeah, we got something going on right here. And I think we proved it. I think it was. I was just facilitating, but they executed too. They executing it too, and the commitment they did. It's like Real Strike Arena. I said, well, if we want to do this, I have to make training slots. We have to that the people are really can train, not hustle up, but we did training slots and pickup games, and the commitment that these guys had is like they brought it to another level, and and we're on that level that I think that that worldwide people watching the scene over here because they are so committed to the sport, and that's what I love, and that's what drives me to bring it further and further and further and further. So and that's why you need the Real Strike Arena. That's why you need a field, to execute it.
I hear that y'all. A few of y'all that I've spoke to over there. I hear that a lot. Training, and it really puts a perspective on the seriousness on how y'all take it and how y'all take the game. It's off the field. The training part. I think about practice. Like even my team, we go to practice, but it's just like the training idea of I don't know, man. I just love the commitment. It's awesome to hear just the commitment alone, out of the conversation I've had with Fives, and Fives is a great dude. From what I've met him on here, awesome dude. But he said that as well, talking about the training like that, and I love that. It's inspiring, if I could find any word for it.
You don't want to know the stress. You don't want to know the stress what's going on now, because this weekend is the first weekend for the NSL Pro Division. But there were no slots because we have the first division and the pro division. But when the slots are coming on there, the training slots, well, they were all sold out by the first division. So that something had to happen, So I had to create extra training slots for the guys, So they trained till 9 or 11 in the evening last weekend just to get prepared on use to the field, etc., etc. And training, if you don't train, you have a problem because you will see the competition is going so much further. If you need to get one with the field, you need to get one with your team. You need to know if the communication is top notch. You need to know if you're, it's like, and you see it growing and growing. So yeah, and there are some teams who are really training at least once a month, but there are teams who are there sometimes every weekend, and yeah, and you see them grow, and that's like ATSB. You saw them last year. You really saw them grow, and look at what they did in Gran Canaria. They were second there. They really grinding, yeah. And that's what I want. That's sport. It's you can't be called the sports or a European championships or an American champion or European or Belgium or German. You have to train for that, and you have to execute it as a sport. If you don't do it, it's just a game, and I don't want to organize it. I just want to organize sports.
Well, speaking of the game, that gets me into my next question. There is the fine tuning, we called it before we started this. The fine tuning when it comes to Monk products, and where we go from the new adapter. I love mine. The adapters are awesome. My ESG, I love it. But that would be my next question: is how did these things come about? I mean, we know, it's another one of those things that's spreading like wildfire over here. Everyone and their brother's got one. It seems to be very. I think it's perfect for the game. How it'll form your rifle. It does get the what most people would see is like the paintball vibe. It does, but it's efficient in how it works. And especially with these new M-Adapt, a whole lot more. So how did that fine tuning come about? Like how did that come out of?
Well, that's actually that's the follow up of creating a sport.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 people starting a team, and then you have many teams, and then we make a big thing. But on that moment, you're going to look into the sport,
right?
And then you really see that a drop stock is not working on the field anymore, or a normal stock is not working on the field, and so. Yeah, then some people you go more in detail. Okay, and yeah, the reference paintball was a reference. I mean, reference to see like getting rid of everything that could be stuck behind a bunker or could be there, and then you see that you have to be very mobile on the field, and then the ESG grip came there, and then. The M adapter. Well, the M adapter is just a different thing, like the other brands who are there, where the mag is just underneath there, but it didn't work. As we saw the problems because when they were passing and going over the bunker, it always the mag came against the bunker, so your gun go down or go up, and then it. Yeah, then you go in detail. Okay, how can we improve it? And then Monk came up. I mean, Monk Customs came up, and Dini is actually Monk, but we really want to do something that is all by. You have to have that feeling, because that is. I know in America it's a boring name, Monk, but there is a story behind it. The story behind Monk Customs is. Here, and I think in America too, monks, we are European, and monks here, the Germans and in the wartime and everything in wartime, the Romans, they used the monks because the monks were making quality. They brought it to the monastery, and they were making guns, and they were making more than that. But if you see the writing, if you see everything. They execute everything on highest level, on the best level. So I wanted to tell the story. That's why we have the feather in our, because the monk was riding always with a feather, and And then I said to Dini, I said, do you wanna work in a concept that I see, and he saw it exactly the same, but because there is no better fine-tuned person in the world than Dini. You know, Junkie is in fine-tuning guns. There, he's amazing. It's just his flavor. You know, it's like give him a gun. Doesn't matter what gun he's just doing like this, and it's junkinized and he's one of the well, he's the foundation of Monk Customs and as a team, because we have a small team, but the team was working harder because on the moment when Corona came, because Monk Customs was actually just a little bit next to it, but then Corona came on there, and well, there was 6 people working for me, and well, no arena shut, everything shut, no speaker beat, nothing was there. So yeah, then you go in survivor mode, you know. Then you have to think like, okay, I don't wanna fire my people. I just wanna keep this happening, and so we fully focus on Monk Customs, extended the brands, the products, yeah, and go from zero to a lot, and but we needed a platform to sell it, and that's how SpeedTech came. And because we want to keep that separate, because SpeedTech, you know, a web shop is a web shop, but the brand Monk Customs is something completely different, because we have so much enormous cool items, and yeah, and then the CNC machine, Salvatore, we call it Salvatore. It's there, and he's making his first cuts. So yeah, and Monk is actually born by, yeah, executed better and fine tuning, giving the guns more efficiency, more lightweight, to get more mobile on the field, and give something that is really for the sport. You know, it's because, and it's more connected to you, because what idiot is making purple guns? You know, I did it because I told it. I said it to Dimi the first time, and he was like, oh. But then I showed him the first. You know, Dimi is the technical. I do the designing things and my ideas and painting, but and then it started. You know, and then the splatter came on there, and that's the fingerprint of Monk Customs. You know, and I think we tried to bring the best quality there, but we're still a young company. You know, we're trying to give the best service we can, but we're still people, you know, and we're still learning. And but yeah, I have a feeling that everybody who owns a Monk build is a very happy person. I mean, that's what we think, and no, we the experience we have is that a lot of people really, if you once have a Monk, it's very connected, more fine tuning, and that's how Monk started, you know. And this is and yeah, and don't forget the team, because this was not possible with. We built a brand in a year, but I couldn't do that without. I'm gonna call them names, you know. I couldn't do this without Dion. I couldn't do this without Jules. I couldn't do this without Harold. These 3 people were so connected, and of course, well, I already said it, Dimi. But then we have Daniel. Daniel is doing the Cerakote now, and so that team, we were actually like, okay, guys, we're all soldiers. You know, we're all soldiers now. We have to fight that coronavirus, and they all stand behind me, and we all went there. You know, they all went, instead of 8 hours, they went 12 hours. We all went for it, and they all, yeah. That's why you want to keep on going with this. You know, right. that team is so solid, and now we're expanding nationally, so we want to expand everywhere, and but want to give, but we don't want to be a big. We want to keep it in detail. You know, we want to keep it small but very, yeah, for niche market, for special market.
Understand that.
Thanks again to the guys, because they were, if they didn't believe in surviving this, Monk was never there how it is now. So and the customers, everybody who trusted in our products, who bought our products, yeah, they helped us survive.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, thanks to them.
So, from and what's awesome is I'm starting to see this timeline you know, one, I was like, hey, how do you want to go about this in a discussion? And two, and it's like I can start to really see it as you tell me the story. All progressed over the last few years, which all is pointing to what these new recent current events, the things that's popping up with the new NSL. And boy, that's from I had the privilege of having a few reps on last week and got into some discussion about it.
The Zebras.
And it has been, from what I've learned from it so far, and y'all are already executing it over here. So that's kind of where I want to shift now, because all of this has it seems is where it's going with the training, the competitiveness. All of it has really started to form from what it seems over there. And now what we see is the NSL. So tell me something about this NSL. Tell me, what is this name that we hear, this NSL? What is this?
Well, NSL stands for Nations Speed League. That's where it stands for. And NSL is just a new sport in the speed soft airsoft area. Again, my friends of Speaker B,
Right.
we executed their baby over here. How I thought that I could. Well, I did my best, and I really tried to do it how I see it. But on the other side, a sport for me is a sport that when you execute it everywhere in the world. You execute it on the same way. It's like you can't have a brand name on there and you play it there on with these rules and there with these rules and there with these rules. You just have to execute it everywhere the same. It's like it doesn't matter, or it's soccer or football or tennis. They all have their own rules, and I executed it with all the love and with a lot of passion for 3 years, and we went too high. But on the moment, when you organize so much and you look at the game, you really see things different. I saw things different because I was getting a little bit bored, to be honest. Like, for me, it was a TDM on the end. It was like, it was a team deathmatch game where people started at the breakout, shoot each other, and then when everybody was shot, went for the flag and hang it against the breakout. Well, that was not my vision of the sport. That's if you are a very, very, very good defending team, well, you're unbeatable. But it was not funny to watch anymore. But from the other side, the excitement from the players on the field, and that's where the pro division started last year, because I wanted to change some things with making 10-minute plays and different, not points per kill, but points per hang and per grab. But even there, on the end, it was the same story again, and shooting all the 5 people. They shot. Yeah, go for the flag, and then there. So the action, the romance of fighting for that flag was gone. It was not there anymore. So I want to have that romance back. But luckily, I was not the only one, because, to be honest, in December I was really in a dip that I really was like, I don't know if I want to continue with this, because I need to have fun in there. I need to have. It needs to stay. When you're at home, it's like the same thing. I told it to the guys last week too, and on the field. When you invest money and you come home and your wife asks you, like, did you have fun? And you say, no, I didn't. Then you need to change things, and that was one of the trigger for me. And I really wanted to bring it more to sport. And internationally, on the way that everybody executes it the same. So again, all my love to the guys at Speaker B, because they did a great job for this community, and we're gonna live together. We're gonna live next beside each other, but we need to be different, because, as Roy from Speaker B knows me, the NSL would be different. I promised him, and I told him, I said, this is going to be a completely different game type and everything. So with that aspect, and there the fun came. How do you get more sport in this sport? And but I didn't want to be responsible for it anymore on my own because I'm not the youngest anymore. I'm not old, but I really need. There's so much organization in there that I said, well, let's do it with a team. Let's where we just make a brainstorm sessions where we can start things over and listen to their vision and throw things on the table and then make a lovely pie of it. And that's happening. So that happened. So there's a board of 8 people, and these people are players from the first division, from the pro division, referees, and myself. Yeah. You gone?
I'm gone. I'm still here though. My video's
Okay.
off. I turned my video off.
Okay.
A couple guys were saying it was trying to lag, and I'm not sure why it's doing it. Everything's showing cool over here, and it
Okay.
seemed like when we had like 3-4 people pop in, I think it was lagging more or less over there for you on y'all's end, but then it started over here because it started out fine. Frozen screen is 5 seconds straight in a 3-second video. Everything looks same resorts as.
Yeah, it's Discord and
Yeah.
combination with Discord in combination with OBS. That's not a marriage. That's not a good marriage. You know, it's
Yeah, it seems not to be. Well, this thing's still being recorded no matter what.
give you good advice, Steve.
So.
Next time, just do it with Google Meet. It's so much easier.
Yeah, we was gonna do that. I was gonna do it with Mark, but I think it was gosh, it was like a certain amount of people that could join it, or a certain amount of time, or something like that. It was like an hour or something like that. There was a reason we backed out of it. We was going to, and then I forgot what it was. Google Meet might be the new thing from here on out.
Yeah, it solves so much problems. So, but okay. Where was I? I was with the board of 8 and that team, and then we threw things on the table, and then magic happened. You know, we couldn't find any solution because we all tried to solve the problem. Like, how do you get it exciting again? How do you get from both ways? How you're not creating a sport that's master and defending? How do you create a sport that's attractive from both sides? And then a lot of people think it was me, but it wasn't me. I promise you. But because I'm a big American football lover, and but it was York, the head ref, who came out from why not the idea in defense and offense. He did. These words were enough because all the problems we had for days, because we were debating and we had meetings for hours and we couldn't solve the problem till that suggestion came, and then we had all the problems were solved. I mean, it was like, how is this possible? Oh yeah, it's not going to be defense anymore. You get more offense. Oh what? No, on that moment you can make the offense. On the moment when you're defense, you're going to go playing more offense, and that was actually the thing, and that started actually the new idea of the NSL. Like, okay, how can we change the game types? How can we change the things? Like, of course, again, I'm going to explain it again for everybody who wasn't there last week. You know, there were still 5 people on this side and 5 people on that side.
Right.
So it's still 5v5. There is still a breakout wall. There is still a flag, and there's still a bunker, and you still have to hang the flag on the other side of the breakout wall. So the game is the same, but we just fine-tuned it and we just changed the rules, and but it needed to be better and it needed to be more logical, more sport. So why not thinking about things that already worked and just put it in here and just create your own pie with it. And yeah, and the NSL is one of these creations. You know, is like how can we get more progress on the sport that people need to think. You know, not getting in that tunnel vision and not just standing there and wants to shoot people. No, let me think. You are. I'm telling you, you have to listen. I'm telling you, you have to think. I'm telling you that it's more that you're working with your brains too, not just shooting beavers like an idiot. And and that's where points came in, and that's where we make zone 1 and zone 2 and zone 3. So yeah, when you're in zone 1, you have 1 point. When you're in zone 2, you have 2 points, and when you're in zone 3, you have 3 points. But on the moment you go to the end goal and you hang that flag, man, yeah, well, it's 12 points. That's a big one. And so exciting, man. Every time I speak about it and I saw it, it's like, and so it's so excited that the ideas we had really is coming to something really touchable, and you see it and it's happening in front of you, but you see all the mistakes teams making on this moment, running and killing the other one. But on the moment when they kill the last person, they can't do a snatch anymore. They have to think. We force them to think. We force them to communicate. We force them. And yeah, are we still lagging or?
I'm actually not sure at the moment. At the moment, I'm just going to let it record, and I will jump it back if need be. I will go back and crop it in there where I need, so it'll go back up.
Yeah, so we need to. We force the people to think. We force the people to say, "Well, this sport is actually a managing sport. Somebody needs to be the coach. Yeah. Someone with a helicopter view. You cannot play on this." In this concept to say, okay guys, let's go on the field, and you decide on the moment, the last 3 minutes on the breakout wall, oh, you go to the left, you go to the right. It's not working with that. It's not working. You have to make a strategy. You have to make the strategy before you go on that field to say, okay, this is our strategy for this game. And it doesn't matter if you're offense or if you're defense, because we call it offense and defense, but actually it's like you get 3 tries, and when you try in normal way, you call that an offense, an attack, and the other team has to defend that happening. Right. So, but yeah, it's funny that people makes the thing like it's American football, but it isn't, of course. But the snatch, well, it's like an interception, but it isn't. But it's a flag, it's not a ball. We don't have yards, we don't have a 100-yard field, we only have zones. And but it opened up so many possibilities. And what you see now in trainings, the push of the defense makes sometimes the defense is more offense than the defense, right, than the other team. So you get that battle on the 50, and the way of, like, let's say, if you're 15-14 behind, or 20-19, and you have 1 minute, and you're on offense, what are you going to do? It's not just, okay, guys, let's go on the field, and we decided in the last 3 seconds on the breakout wall. No, you have to make a plan. Not a minute before it. No, you already have to make that plan weeks before it or days before it. That when this is the situation, these 5 people are on the wall. This is where we're going. We're going dominate on the left, dominate in the middle, or dominate on the right. We're going to stay behind. We're going to go in front. You have to make a strategy, and yeah.
And those strategies can change upon each team too, because I mean, we think of discussing my team. That's some things that we do. It's like, if it's a team we've played before, it's like we know how they play. They're really aggressive here. They like to push here, kind of thing, and it can almost reflect how we strategize in that. That's something else we was talking about. Is like, well, all right, well, what if we're back here, we're playing these positions, and then one of our Doritos go down, our snake goes down. That plan has to alter in the right way, and in accordance with each person that we lose, because we don't know if you can't make a plan for just everyone being alive. Somebody's about to die. Somebody's going to the dead box, so we have to change this accordingly. I like the idea of the the snatching of the flag. If the flag the holder, he dies and it's snatched, now you're immediately defense. Now it's completely switched on you, and that pressure is a good thing when it comes to this game. Having high pressure is just like, it's fun. It's what makes it so fun. And just really enjoy that. It just, I don't know, man. I'm excited about trying to play it myself. My
You're
team
gonna
is
play it.
like
You're gonna play it.
I'm so excited to try it.
We're gonna bring it. We're gonna bring it to the States, and I'm talking with some fields on this moment, and we're definitely gonna. I'm very close with to an agreement with Jason of HCK to do the launch there, and I think we'll do our best, but we didn't get 100% on the date right now, but. Yeah, I'm trying to fly over to arrange some things, but yeah, let's see how far it comes. But to be honest, it's thinking and creating the concept is great, but see it in front of you happening, that's make it crazy, because these are just some ideas that 8 people in a board threw all their ideas on table, and we all just mashed it up like, okay, and now we have to execute. Now you have to execute, and that's something we know we can do. We know how to execute things, and we hope we can do this on the same level we did before. And we want to bring it more closer to the viewers. We want to bring it closer that on the moment when you watch a stream, that you understand where you're watching it. And
Right.
with this game type, it's much easier just to take you with me into the streaming idea. Is like, if you do a normal 5v5, or speak via style, well, 10 people are running, and then you just have to be lucky that you catch the cool action on that field. But now it's different. Now okay, you start offense. You want to catch on camera who's getting that flag. On the moment when you see on camera who's getting that flag, you just switch quick to the defense. See if they saw it, but they didn't saw it, or they saw it. Then you go back to your camera to the offense, and follow that man with the flag, the first round, and then the cameras can follow actually the offense team. So you see in defense how it's working, and in offense too. So people who are watching now, it's much easier to follow the sport, because a lot of people think that, well, it's a lot of thinking, and it's so much different, and it's so difficult, but it isn't. It's easy. Again, I say it again: 5v5, flag, breakout wall, bunkers, hang the flag on the other side. It's all the same. Now the good thing about it, you can earn points before you get to the breakout wall. You earn already points when you're on over the 50, or let's say the 50, or you earn points when you're in zone 2 or on zone 3. But are you gonna suicide yourself to get 3 points? Because when you get suicide on the third point, you still have 3 points, but you are 11 to 10. So you can make 14-10, or you can make 13 to 11. These are the decisions that we force now for. It's like, yeah, man, I can't wait till Saturday. Can't wait. And I see the chaos in people's eyes, and I see the chaos this weekend. I'm going to see the chaos on the field. And everybody is going to say, okay, what the fuck do I need to do? The only thing they need to do is, okay, learn,
Right.
see it as a big training, go home, and get serious about it. Get serious about it, and you will see. If you think you make your decision in the last 3 seconds on the wall, you're not playing the game. And that's the coolest thing. I mean, Steve, come on. I don't know what are you an offense player, or are you a defense player? What are you?
I don't know. I would say, I mean, as with these new rules, I don't really know yet for this NSL thing. But when it comes to the way I'd like to think of myself, I'm usually a backline player. So I would actually kind of put myself as I'm more defensive. I'm more of like an anchor spot, and I hold down for our 2 front guys. Lately, I've been playing a little bit different. I actually picked up a pistol not long ago, and have been trying to play a little different. Our team has been trying to take our players and versatile each other. Try positions we don't normally play. Try things we don't normally do. to put ourselves in that kind of situation. I mean, we had practice over the weekend. We ran some new plays, some new things. Demi made a suggestion of sending people out there with no gun. Hell, that's something we did. We sent one player from each team with a gun. The rest of us went out there. We just ran and made call-outs, to work more on call-outs and watching and things like that. Stop worrying about, necessarily killing them and let people know where they're at. So just, I don't know, I would like to see myself as a more defensive player.
So, and there's only one can where you really can play defense play, because there is one big can on the back, and the rest are actually home Doritos, smaller Doritos, or longer, big Doritos, but in the long way. So the game forces you to go to the 50. Hanging back is not the thing, because you don't win as defense to hang back. And now my question. So that is taking that block. What are you going to do? I mean, because defense doesn't mean that you have to stay back. Defense means I want to defend that the other team is not crossing the 50. That's
Right.
defense. How closer you're getting to the 50, how better you can defense that 50. Are you
Right.
correct? So it's a different game. It's a different mindset you need to create for yourself. Like, okay, when I'm at the 50, I'm still defense. I'm still defending, because he's not fucking going over that line. I'm
I'm gonna make sure of it. Yeah.
And but you need to create your team that of course there will always be a very defending person, but that's one overview person. Will the big can on the right back or on the left back on the other side? It's but as a defense, you need to go play for the first 50. You need to play more offense to get your defense spot. And on the moment when you're settled. I mean, then you're settled. Then it's very hard for the offense. But on the moment when you lay back, because everything in the back is low covers, and a lot of low covers there. When you lay back, offense has the chance to get to the 50 and surprise you. So you really are forced
To meet in the middle.
to move to that middle. That's where the middle is going to happen. No flag, because the flag is already there. Where do I going to drop that flag? Shit. Well, G1, G2, G3, G4. What do I do with G4? Do I'm still going to search? Do I'm still going to search for that G5? No, you're not. Because on the moment when you kill that person, you cannot make it. Well, actually, it's hard to make a snatch, because you can make a snatch to grab the flag, or you make a snatch to touch the other side of the breakout wall.
Right.
So, but you cannot do that if the fifth person is dead. Only on the moment when he's dead, you have 3 seconds to find the flag or to find the flag to get the snatch. But on the moment when he's still alive and you touch the other side of the wall, that's a snatch too. So we force you to think. We force you that killing the other side, very important, of course, but not all of them. If you want to make points.
Right, yeah, exactly. Throwing the little cojones bonus, as we would normally know it as, is actually beneficial more than it is just like you said, and it's almost like it was a game of TDM and then grab the flag, touch the wall. But, those extra points could be crucial. You need those. That could be the difference between a loss and a win, right there, of having some extra guys there.
You know what exciting? It's on the moment when you make the flag hang. You got the 1v1s. That adrenaline. I mean, I'm not on the field, but I'm standing in the field as a ref for, and the adrenaline I see through these eyes mask. It's like they are shaking. And people really getting pumped up to get that 30-second chance, because 2 points extra is a lot, But creating that in 30 seconds, it's not. You're not going to do that when you're staying behind, because 30 seconds are gone in a second.
Right.
But let's say you make a last one. It's the other one at 12, and you made the last one, and it's and you make that touch with 11. So you have 11 points and they have 12 points. But there's only 1 minute on the clock. So in 30 seconds, you can make your win, because when you win, you make 13 to 12. So it's a very important responsibility you have there. But the adrenaline, it really is a cool element in the sport, in the game, and it's really, yeah.
I love that.
So
I love that. It's special teams coming in, you know, kind of like sending in that guy, and not to mention picking that guy as you know a specific strong suit. I mean, it's going to be important who you grab.
if you execute it as a sport, Steve, you're gonna say as a coach, and you're gonna train on the 1v1s,
Yeah.
and you're gonna train on this, and you're gonna train on that, and that's the thing that teams needs to accept, is that this sport needs to be coached, because it's impossible on this moment that a player, they can't see everything. You know, you need to have that helicopter view over your team, what's happening on the other side, and what's happening on their side, and to anticipate on the gameplay from the other team, because you can watch many games and you can watch many videos or streams, etc., but a team change too. You know, they learn quick, but you can't see that on the moment when you play, because you only see your own game through your own eyes. And there are not many people, but there are a few people who have a big overview. But even then, you can't see it when you're in the game. You need to stand up and see what's happening on that field, and then go down to your crew, and then go down to your team and say, guys, this happened, that happened. You change that, you change that. That's what they playing out. This, they playing that. That's what I'm loving about it. You know, it's yeah. My smile is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So,
I can see the excitement behind it. I can really can.
yeah.
So
It's
is this something that you know? I mean, as due time goes, are y'all planning on changing anything about it at all? Even little, you know, small little things, or you think this is it? This is the golden.
oh, no.
What's going to be?
Listen, it would be perfect, but every sport is changing and fine tuning. I mean, look at the rules from the NFL last year. I mean, it's all the rules in every sport are getting changed every year, or every 2 years or 3 years. So, but this is a new sport. So, if there is really something that is not working, or teams are really complaining, or is just a battle, or doesn't matter what, we will change it. Of course, it needs to be attractive for the players and attractive for everybody. But I think we have a very good foundation. We have a very good base to build on, and it's already exciting to talk about it. Let's say that we can play on it, and yeah, man, what if we can see the American teams and international teams play against each others in this concept? Can't wait. I can't wait to see the different strategies. You know, I can't wait to see this happening. I can't.
It's exciting, man. Like just to think of where this could go next. I mean, because we've all sit here and had this conversation earlier on, like, you know, I've asked plenty of people, like, you know, where do you see Airsoft in 5 years? And now it's almost like it's like I don't even want to ask that question, you know, because I almost thought about it on I don't know, on a different level, and then now this one is just like, man, I think, you know, from my perspective, I have no doubt that it's going to keep exploding, and I have no doubt that y'all are onto something here, something huge, and I'd love to see it go. I mean, to hear of it on a global scale is mind-boggling. Just to hear about it like that, because we're used to, you know, we drive a couple hours for something, but just, you know, to go to a totally different country to play would be, I mean, that's surreal to think of that level. You know, we was talking about rules being a different, you know, we go to different fields, we want to make sure all the rules are the same, and then to hear that same thing. I mean, NFL is the same, you know, no matter where you go in the country, it's all the same rules. You're basing on the same thing, so it's cool to, I don't know, man. It's just exciting. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Even a year from now, if has anything changed, has anything, you know, been added.
So a little bit from me. I mean, what brings you that you are so committed to Speedsoft?
I can't find a funner thing to do. I can't. I literally can't. I ain't even been playing about 2 years now. And I got hooked. I originally started playing Airsoft with, it was an idea to play with my son. He was out playing at one of our local fields at ACS, and it was just like, it was a way for me to hang out with him more. And then I started playing, and I'm more committed to this than I was. When I grew up, I used to skateboard. I thought for sure, I was like, I'm going to be a professional skateboarder one day. My ego was in there. That's literally what I thought I was going to do. And I was 150% into it at all given times. And I haven't had that sort of thing in years. And then once this came around and I got involved in here, it gives me, I don't want to sound cheesy on this, but it's almost like a purpose. It gives me purpose, like something to do, something like an involvement. And I've never been more, I don't worry about things. It's just the game. So when I play, when the horn blows, I forget about every single thing that I got going on, except the score.
What was that feeling when you stand for the first time on the breakout wall? I mean, for the first
Intimidated, very intimidated.
time.
Yeah,
That's the cool thing.
our first one was in Nashville, and man, we didn't know what we was doing. We was outsiders. We was new to it. We was not in the proper gear. We was not anything. It was 18 teams that night, and for our first one, we finished 5th place. Never played before. And when we did that, man, we have been I mean it, Bert. We are wide open ever since then. Since that started, something just clicked with us. We've gone to everything we can. We've done all the traveling we can. We got more places to go, more things to do. But man, we get a rush from it. We get a rush from meeting other people, from playing it, from just being involved in it. I mean, it's the coolest sport in the world, man. We're gonna shoot green tracers at other people. Like, we just shoot other people, with these, strange looking guns sometimes. Man, it's.
I mean, look how this whole thing changed. I mean, we just created a new niche in airsoft.
Right.
We created a new. Well, yeah, I think, I mean, guys playing with green, purple, red, white, black. Guys, so much things have changed, and that's the coolest thing about it. It's like, it's because only this community understands it, but it's growing very fast. And that's why I asked you the question, because a lot of people starts to understand when they're standing with their feet against the breakout wall, or it's feet weapon go, or it's 3, 2, 1 go, but that adrenaline kick you get on that moment, it's
breathtaking.
That's addicted. You're addicted to it, and yeah, it's. But for this, I mean, I really respect. I see myself and one person in the States is Cable. He's organizing for kids, and he's organizing on their field, a true aid. But the passion he's putting in there, and giving these kids, trying to create everything to give that same feeling in or it's speed soft, or it's PKB, or it's just normal airsoft skirms. That adrenaline thing that makes people addicted to any airsoft sport there is, and we just want to be an extra airsoft sport. And I just want to give that as an example, because I just said it before in the beginning of this podcast. It's like execution is so important. How you see the twinkle in people's eyes, and I see the thing. If I was playing at True Aim, I mean, the effort and everything they are putting in there, that's what people want. They are happy to pay for that, and that's how I met people, learning people at the Tigers, and they are all happy, and that's a big clan there, and man. Again, if you see every time, it doesn't matter if you play just normal airsoft game or you play speed soft game. On the moment when people are getting happy and that twinkle in their eyes, that's where you succeed. And
right.
the other ones succeed more. So, and I really hope that that with these people we can build something up there in the States, and we're gonna make some more twinkle in the eyes, and we're gonna try to bring it to the next level. Yeah,
I'm
give you more, give you more that thing, like. Well, I started with my son a few years ago.
I did, and I took off with it, man. I mean, you might have heard it before. It's one of my. We played outside. It was an outdoor. It wasn't even a speed soft game. I was just playing outdoor, and I ran from spawn maybe 20 foot. I wasn't sure where I was, what I was doing, yada yada yada. And I hid behind a truck and took one to the dye mask, and it hurt. It hurt to the. It shook my mask, but man, it was just something about that moment. It was just, this is awesome. Like, it is awesome. I just got shot in the face. You see that? Run back to spawn real quick and get back in the game.
Yep.
And it's, man, I don't know what it is. It's literally that. I mean, yeah, like it goes in hand. When we're at the wall, the breakout wall, waiting for that horn, that adrenaline. You almost, false start. You're just ready to go, just ready to run, waiting for that horn. That adrenaline is. That's a rush. Like, it is a serious rush. The game itself is just, or even off a SpeedQB field, if a CQB field, walking through certain doors, that adrenaline. Am I about to get shot? Am I watching? And you're just pure alert. And I forget about everything. It's. I don't want to say this about. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a coworker. I'm a brother. I'm this. I get to release from all those things, and I forget that I'm a father. I'm this. I'm that. I don't want to say that sound in a bad way. I'm saying I'm in the game. This is a freedom for me. I'm not worried about anything except shooting my opponent. Man, and I gotta say this for what it is a lot is what I'm grateful for. Like, truly, truly grateful for, is a community of people that I've met. The coolest of people, man, and all the backgrounds, all the, it doesn't matter where you're from, what you did, this, that, or the other. It's just all have that common ground in Airsoft. A love for Airsoft, and it just, man, you just see people from all kinds of just backgrounds, bro, just link together and go shoot each other. It's a fancy way of playing tag, and it's I'm extremely grateful for the people I've met, the friends I've made. 3 years ago I just worked all the time and came home, and I didn't really know what to do with myself and stuff. And I'm thankful for Airsoft, like in the hugest way.
Yeah, just gonna bring you and a lot of people now with me how I see it, and we talked about it just before we started, and what I said is like only 4 weekends in the year is your weekend, and it's the weekend that you say, kids, dad's gone, honey,
Yeah,
it's my weekend, see you on Monday, and but we want to bring this actually to an event that you're really gonna enjoy 4 times in a year, and not only by playing. It's like this community asks for much more. It's being together and create more around that. It's just the game is very important, but socializing and getting the things after is very important too, because we have to keep this in the sport too. And that's still happening with many sports, but many people don't see it because we're not executing the NFL. We are executing actually the lower division, but we try to bring it there. But still, there, having a drink after or having fun after is very important.
right.
And we want to play that too in the future. It's like you go into an event, and an event is not just shooting each other, but more than that. So, yeah, and we're gonna work on that. But first, we have to see if we have something that works, and I think that the NSL is something that works, but it's on the teams to show the rest that it works.
Yeah. I think due time. I mean, hopefully we're able to. I mean, with the what y'all are doing for us to help us get this engaged and get it kicked off. I think there's going to be plenty of involvement, but I'd like to see how much involvement. I have no doubt that it's, when I want to say speed soft, so I can use a broad brush. I have no doubt that it itself is just growing. New players every day. People are influenced in a positive way. Especially now, you see a lot of kids now. I know that over there, y'all don't have even kids playing like it. We have kids galore. I mean, they're everywhere. 12 to 14, 15, 16-year-old kids that are just, and they're good, Bert. I mean, these kids are good. They go out there and embarrass grown men. They're good at what they do, and it's
That's why I
just
want
like,
to be there. That's why I want to be in the States. They all call me here. I'm half American, but I don't care. It's like
with the
this
Patriot
is
symbol I see on your shirt there. I can go with it.
yeah, but even there, it's like if I had the chance here to train or help kids from 12 years or 40, because now I'm talking with Mark Australia. Mark, and Australia the gel ball you're allowed to play from 12 I think or younger, but having that possibility to to help these kids and to bring them to the level, and when you're 18 you can go into the NSL or you can go,
Yeah.
that's something that can happen in the States, and it can happen in Australia. So next week with Mark, I mean, as a thing like Monk Customs again. Monk Customs is a brand, but I really want that Monk Customs is sports. Monk Customs is because there is a sport and we build things for the sport, but we really want to try to give something back to the sports, but we want to give it back in the way of the younger kids. It's like giving them a chance, and I really hope that we can find it in the States too. We're already talking, but yeah, finding field owners, supporters, and as Monk Customs, we really want to support those young kids, and that's why I want to be there. It's how amazing is it to walking around there and see them growing in front of your nose, like
Yeah.
he's coming, or or fives, or it doesn't matter who, or everybody who's now on a top level, to tell them like, yeah, 12 years he's now, but he's going to make history from, and that's what that's what you love in every sport. If you see the new quarterbacks coming up, if they are in the rookie year, and you see that's going to be one.
Yeah.
I think we have one Patriots on this moment, but that's what you want to see, and that's what you are allowed to. And here we are. I mean, a fucking sorry.
No, you're good. You're fine.
I mean, an airsoft gun, toy gun. Here, you need to be. You need to have a license. We have to have a license. You need to have your improvement of that you don't have any prison or anything, and if you don't have that, you can't get a toy gun. And you have to be 18 years old. I mean, it's okay, but if you want to be a soldier, well, the weekend warrior, if you want to be, and I understand it in that perspective, but not in the sport that we play. It's and I really hope we can change some things in the future worldwide. And I mean, for Australia, it's much harder because you can't play airsoft there. Um, but but we need to change the mentality that on the moment when you play this sport, forget airsoft. I mean, it's still airsoft, but
Yeah.
it's not military simulation anymore. It's just it's different. So don't say to people who's playing this sport, go play paintball, because in the NSL you cannot compare it to paintball. You cannot compare it to speakeasy. It's on its own.
Yeah.
And well, maybe the NXL is going to play our thing in the future. Who knows? But it's
Who knows?
it's a big, no. But I mean, this. I'm just kidding. But what I'm trying to say is that we're just playing with toys, and everybody has their own disciplines, and everybody loves their own thing, and that's what's great about what we created in the Real Strike Arena. If you want to be playing CQB and you want to do the military simulation things, or it's there. If you want to, and they have their own entrance, and on the end they're all smoking outside a cigarette, or but that's what you need to create, except that you're not playing or executing the same sport. The only thing that you sharing is that you use an engine that shoots BBs because the guns, the replicas, it's not a replica anymore, because it's something that doesn't look at a replica. It's not. I think it's yeah, like a paintball marker, but we don't create a paintball marker because we don't put balls on top of it. You know, it's and that's what I'm trying to explain is like the world is making such a big point of speed softers and killing the airsoft, and that is not. I mean, yes, I know there are some pain in the asses there running around those
Absolutely.
fields and just shooting all these bosses down. But man, forget about it, man. Give them the chance and just create locations. If you have an arena, create a small location in your arena where they can play their thing, you know,
All right.
and then you get peace.
It is exciting with kids to. I mean, there's been time. I mean, even, gosh, there's been times that we literally, let a kid like in a CQB or open game or something like that, just let the kid pop out a little bit more so that kid can get you. It's okay if he shoots me. It makes him feel good. It makes him want to come back. And like we look at these kids and it's just like, man, they are the future of airsoft. Like these kids are going to be boss, and over the last couple of years of playing, just, there's been committed kids I've played with out of ACS, and just to watch them in the last 2 years, some of them, I swear to you, man, seem like they were getting taller than me now, already in 2 years, growing like weeds. But to watch these kids progress over the last couple of years has just been fun. We pulled on one of our youngest teammates. One of my youngest teammates is 15, and he is good. He is really good. He plays on our A team. He's so small. He's agile. He's got a hell of a shot. And we love that kid, man. And he earns his spot on there. He really does. And the rest of us, we're all just pretty much grown. There's a couple minors on there, but when I got talking to Fives about that, it's just like, you can't have underage kids like that. It's just like, man, I hate that. These kids could be so flawless time they hit of age if they had just a
So
couple of
jealous,
years
man.
before it.
So jealous. So
Man.
jealous.
And the
It's
guns itself too, man. I mean, we can go, any random kid can go in there and buy a new M4, and not have to have all these I mean, we have background checks for real firearms, but airsoft does not look like that at all. But we do have more leniency on, gun laws and things like that. And it's unfortunate. I hope y'all can, man. I really hope that. I'd love to see a change, especially for Australia.
I'm gonna promise you one thing.
What's that?
If they don't change it over here, I'm come over and change it over there.
All right. I understand. Have all the freedoms
Because
you need.
I need to get connected to. I need to get the connection to the kids. I need to get it because that's where all the talents are born. You see it there. There you see the talents. I mean, yeah, and there is no platform where they can try it. That's the worst thing about it. It's just go and play there. No, if the kids are getting exciting by, okay, mom, I'm gonna leave my computer now. I'm gonna leave my gaming, but I have to go to play some airsoft. That's what you want to have. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's that they want to go out and ask mom to bring them. But now it's just like, my friends are going. It's a weekend thing, and that mentality, it starts with the kids, and there are no better generators than kids. And it's a long time in my life. I had um, some businesses that I saw as an example, and one of them was Pokemon because
Yeah.
they did an amazing marketing stunt. But when a little kid is asking you with the puppy eyes, mom, can I get that? Or mom, you can't say no as a parent. It's like, but if you can create that they are really happy with that, and like Pokemon, they really had a very boring game card, and nobody understood it. Nobody understood it because it was an amazing game card, but it was too hard to understand. So they did the most amazing thing, and they created a cartoon around it to explain the game card. It went to the such a big brand, and yeah, but it's kids. They were focused on kids. My oldest is still Pokemon. It's still like, yeah, it's that was such a thing that it stays with you even when he's 50. I think Pokemon is still that thing
Yeah.
that he carried. with him and tries to give to his kids and tries to give to that and that's what we need to do too, on the sports. It's like giving it to them and let them understand what they need to do for it. And yeah, that's one of the goals. Again, if they don't change it over here, I'm trying to come over and change it over there, Steve. So, and I'm going to do it, and I'm trying it already with Mark in Australia. We are going to talk about it to see that that's going to happen there.
Boy, we have sitting there watching if this thing was still lagging or not. They carried on in the conversation in the chat, and it's exciting. Sit there and watch these guys. Yeah, man, it's to get kids away. My oldest, he loves sitting around playing video games for the most part of the day. That's all he wants to do, and a lot of me wants to get him back out to Airsoft. He kind of died out of it, which is unfortunate. But hopefully I'll get him back at it. I have to go back and edit all this and fix it. I will.
Just the next time, trust me, just do the Google Meet.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good. I'm going to set that thing up right after. Believe me.
Yeah, you do it.
Because that's.
So are you gonna? Is your team gonna train for the event that we're probably gonna organize in the States?
Oh, we are already mandatory practice. I was there Saturday. We're already trying to do a lot. I have a printout, or I don't have it printed out. I have it on my phone. What rules that I have from y'all's format, from discussions and such. We'll be there. I guarantee every one of us will be. So if we do have I know you don't have a date like that or anything, or a formal announcement. So I haven't been able to say anything.
I can give dates now, but you know how it works. If I give a date now, people already say, "Oh, it's coming to that," but it's not official now.
Yeah.
And we don't have a full agreement. So, but I can give you an idea of what dates we have in thought to organize. But again, I said hard, loud. This is not official.
Right.
But we are aiming on the 2nd and the 3rd of July. But first we have to get everything organized. But when it's official, we will bring it out as soon as possible. But the 2nd and the 3rd of July is the days where we're thinking of. And it's amazing because then we are in the States on the 4th of July. I mean, one of the biggest holidays there are. So yeah, let's try to make this happening. So please, again, this is not official yet.
Right.
So we need to get the dates. We need to get it 100% there. But these are the days where we are looking at.
Yeah, that's something exciting. As soon as y'all have a formal announcement or anything like that, that'll be a lot easier to kind of push people there. But I understand, believe me, as soon as you, like you said, as soon as you give a date, something will change.
Yeah. So, but it's there. So if you already have an idea, so keep these dates reserved. Maybe till next week. Then it's going. It's a go or it's not, or maybe in 2 weeks. But on this one, we can't confirm it. So yeah.
Look at that.
I'm really looking forward. I really think that some teams are going to travel in for this event. I definitely know that my big boy Taco's is coming over. He's he's.
Oh, baby goat Adam. Yeah, Adam's awesome.
Baby goat Adam, man. That man. That man is my American monk. He's but he's. I'm so proud to have him on board. It's as a man with a character,
He's a good
His
dude.
story, yeah, it's really his story, man. This man fought, for lives, When you're fighting more than 20 years as a fighter, I mean, saving lives and change people makes the raw people from inside. You see that, it's like these people, and he's committed, and he's just as excited, but he said already, like, "Oh, Bert, I don't think I can play anymore, but I'm definitely gonna coach. I'm definitely gonna coach." So, yeah, hope to see some teams coming there and and try this shit.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it looks like it's still doing the same.
You've got examples. Who's your example
Of?
doing this? Who's your example to who motivates you to do this?
I wouldn't want to say I don't know. I don't have like a direct person. I have more of I don't know. I don't want to say I have like a favorite player or a favorite person.
Mhm.
I almost get it in the same sort of way, and it kind of goes back to that thing I was talking about with other players and community stuff. I think that is one of my biggest motivations. Is literally just man, it's so cool to watch the excitement of people and everybody just comes together and there's no. I mean, sometimes you have bickering and stuff, but the overall just man how the community just sucks in and draws into this interest. And it's so exciting in the vibes of just meeting people, being with people, playing with people. And it's like, that guy you sweep and you shoot him and he's not mad. Instead he turns around and gives you dap. And there's an excitement to it. I don't know. I can't really say a person. It's just I don't know. That's a Bert to the bone question right there, and that's there really is.
Yeah, well, I'm going to invite you as a guest soon. So, but I want to come back with Word to the Bone, but I just don't have time for it.
I understand completely.
I just don't have the time for it now, but I miss it because I really like it. I really like to go into people and want to learn people and want to. I really like to do that. So, no, but again, it's you know what I can promise you is like on the moment when you have so many teams on a tournament in a weekend and you see what's happening with all these teams and the communication in their locker room or in their dressing room or in the death tunnel or when they go up the excitement, the adrenaline, that all together, if you experience that on that level that we execute this on this moment for the last 2 years, that makes that yeah, that drives me every time to keep it up. That drives me to see because I enjoy this game as much as the players.
Right.
Because I'm watching them play, and I'm so freaking excited. It's like it's yeah, it's an exciting thing. It's something where well, yeah, I feel that. I feel every player, I feel every team, and on the moment when you have that and you have that experience, I will ask you this question again because then then you will get more feedback for yourself. You have more things to think about and to define it on what this question really was because and I really like your answer because it all starts with your answer. It all starts there.
I don't know. I just didn't want to feed. I don't want to feed, some bullshit. I'd rather just be honest, and that's just how I feel. Like I don't really have a.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's man. I just want to see it grow, bro. Like Airsoft has done so much for me. I hear people. I get random people. It's just like appreciate what you're doing here, appreciate this, and I'm like, man, I'm not doing anything, bro. I'm just literally talking about Airsoft. I'm literally just trying to involve and just help it grow in any small way that I can. Like other than that, I just play. If I get a shot off, I get a shot off. If I'm in a dead box, I'm in a dead box. Doesn't matter. I'm still happy no matter what. I just want to play. I just want to watch it grow, and do anything I can.
Yeah. And it's not bad feeling bad if you're not winning, and that's what a lot of people need to accept because that's the difference between a game and a sport, It's not a bad thing that you're not happy if you don't win because that's sport.
All right.
Because you want to win.
Agreed.
And that's a mentality that people need to accept too, On the moment when you get in here and you really think that you're going to play the game, then you will be surprised because every competitor that you get against you, they are not thinking like that because they just want to win.
Right.
And that's sport. That's sport. And on the moment when you get infected with that bug, that's going to change your mind. That's going to change your complete idea of where we're talking about. It's like when that mentality thing clicks in your head, that's romance too. It's romantic too. But
Hmm.
that's what every sports needs. It doesn't matter what sport. On the moment when you play sport, and I really hope that we can say in the future professional sport, because if there's one of my goals, then it is that the NSL is a sport where people can make money and where we can say we really play pro style, and
Right.
but it's not up to me; it's up to everybody. But on the moment when you're on that level, if there is somebody on that field in the team who thinks, "Well, I'm just happy that I'm here. I'm just happy that I can shoot some people," you're not fitting in that team because you are playing a sport.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Have that competitor mentality kick in real quick. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we say that a lot. Is on the sense of we're homies out the field. When a horn blows, you're my enemy for 3 minutes. For three
that's it.
minutes, I'm trying to kill you. I'm gonna do anything I can to stop you and remove you and eliminate you. For 3 minutes.
And
Once
that's
the game's over, we can be cool. We can do all this. But while that clock is running and that horn is blown, it's a different mentality completely. I would agree with
I
that.
saw people change. I saw people change with like, nah, man, I'm just doing this for fun. I'm just doing this because I want to. If it's all getting too serious, I don't think. And now you have to see them,
Yeah.
um,
And it's okay. I see it as okay. And even some we had a discussion before, just almost low key shit talking, but in a publicital kind of way, just kind of riving it up, especially two teams that we see around here. It's like we want to see a little prep talk. It's entertainment too to the same person watching. When you're not on the field and you're watching, you said you get to see it. The excitement of watching these players play. And to
what if
think these are two rival teams, like in a good way, rival, and
that's
it's
it?
like,
That's it. And that's what I like about the 1v1s. Let's say that 1v1 there are going to be some good players in there. Then you got um, the two best 1v1 players against each other. And you as a viewer, but they as a player, they have to play the shootout, let's say the 30 seconds. That's so exciting. And they're not playing there for fun, they're playing there for points.
yeah.
And that's where I'm looking forward to, the competition thing, the, the rival thing on that field.
Hmm.
Because on that field, it needs to be like, clack, not your friend now.
Yeah.
Just don't get some points.
Yes.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's sport. You can hang out with your friends. I mean, and you can hang out and you can do the fun. But on the moment when I'm on that field, I'm on that breakout wall.
Yeah, we
You're
were
mine.
enemies.
You're mine. And
Absolutely.
and and I'm gonna take these points from you. If you're gonna cry home, I don't care. But I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry home. That's it. That's sports. That's and I understand everybody because not everybody is agreeing with me. But I'm sorry for everybody. I don't care because that's how I see that sport needs to be. And if you can educate that to kids, that they go in with this Lions mentality and 18 years old and beating the shit out of the the people who are running around now, that's where that moment is going to be magic for me.
Yeah.
Like the whew, yeah,
Absolutely.
like a kid of 18 is coming up to you and he say like, well, you did your best in the last 6 years, but now it's my time.
Yeah, my time's shine.
That's great. That's where I think this sport is going to go to in the next coming 10 years. So yeah,
It's exciting to think of years from now how everything's gonna look.
yeah. But it's not up to me. It's up to the community. It's up to the
Yeah.
players. It's up again. Every sport. Look at it. Doesn't matter what sport you execute. Every sport on a high level needs the most important people on the field. And I want to really do a big shout out to my ref team. To the ref team is the Zebra Gang.
Zebra
They are
gang.
the guys, not everybody sees how these guys are getting hurt. I showed it in Gran Canaria. Like I saw two guys there, and they were blue and red. So I asked them to get rid of the shirts so the players could see how much BBs these guys are taking just to make this sport happen. That's all the respect. But players don't have an idea what they are doing. They have no idea that they are so important to make this work. And so, and that's why I want to give them all the the the, the power in the field, because on the field when we executing, it doesn't matter where, or it's in real strike arena there, the referees, you're not going to talk to referees. The only one who's talk to the referee is your team captain, and you can go to the head ref. For the rest, you leave the referees alone, and what they say is law. And when it's a first aggression, you need to have a second opinion, or etc. etc. But it's respect that we need to get for those people, because they are building this sport. They are trying that to guide the sport in the right direction. So where everything that's mistaken, that we try and they try to punish you, so you're not going to do it again. But it's in a way of help. It's not like, we're waiting for you and we're just going to try to make your day horrible. No. So every sport needs good refs, and I think we are building on an amazing team, refs, and yeah, we're gonna bring them to the stage when we're gonna organize the first NSL, definitely, because I think that's what people need to see too. People need to see that. I never forget when SYG came over, and they play at DreamHack. First thing they came to me, it was Chief, it was Dominic, Bert. Well, take your refs. I mean, we need this, and that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Is like, we all know how unfair people can play on the field, but it's in every sport. Everybody's looking to that border where, okay, can I go over it, or can't I go? But you need to people who can find it and see it where it's going wrong, and listening to the feedback. So I really hope that we can put an example there too, to motivate people to say, well, I want to be in the Zebra Gang. I want to be a part of that, because that's freaking cool. I mean, it is freaking cool, because if you love the sport, but now everybody says, I don't want to ref. No, if you ref with us, that's a different story. That's something completely different, and I hope we can motivate people too there when we're all over there. So yeah, a lot of NSL, isn't there?
This is wow.
I hope next week, man. I hope next week. So this weekend, you need to see, and I hope next week we can talk about it, so we can see the first execution of the NSL Pro Division.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch what streams of it I can. We're leaving for me and 3 players are leaving Friday night. We're going to Atlanta for the to SS. We're gonna go do that tournament down there.
Cool, yeah.
So we'll be down there for a couple days, Friday to Sunday. But I'm sure that I will catch up on all of it to see the stream from it. It's going to be pretty exciting to watch.
There will be some confused teams. Trust me, in the first rounds, they need to understand the game. They need to understand things, and there will be, and that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah.
Just give yourself the chance to change, because change is not easy. That's a big change. That's a cool change, but still 5v5, still a flag, still a breakout wall, still have to hang it on the other side. So actually the same game, different rules.
I love it. Well, Bert, okay. I was going to say I appreciate you. I've had you on this line nearly 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes of stream as well. But I really do, man. I want to say thank you. like so much.
Thank you too.
Not only for just this, man, but just what you're doing, bro. Like for real, I really appreciate what you're doing for the entire community of what you're seeing. I mean, it's taking its effect over here. Um, I mean, obviously, and I have no doubt we're going to see a lot more of it. But for me, and I'm sure I can say that I can speak for a lot of people when I say thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Um, and I appreciate you taking time out of your night to come on here with me, even though my thing was lagging, but it will be fixed. So when it uploads again, it'll be fixed because this is all recorded. So anybody be able to catch up on anything that they might have missed. But I'm really looking forward to. I hope everything goes right to meet you in July. I will be down there first thing that morning. I guarantee it with my team to give this a shot, and more or less just see what happens because we're excited about playing it. We're excited about what the rest of 2020 has in store. What next year has in store, so on and so forth. But I can promise you, or at least our commitment from our end to do anything we can to help it grow. If the seed is sprinkled, we will water it every day. I assure you.
Well, I really appreciate it, and I want to thank you too for having me. And there will be many questions in the future, but I will be. If you just know them all, and you have many questions, you can ask me back, and I will come there and I will answer all the questions you have. So about the NSL, or it doesn't matter what. But no, I appreciate you too because the commitment you put in this too, and I really see that you want to grow. I really see that you want to make this grow. So I do this with all the love and to help grow it over there and give the teams who are really into it hopefully the possibility to execute it. So yeah, thank you for having me,
Thank you.
and I hope everybody will watch follow this guy because he's he's pure. He's pure. No bullshit. That's what I like.
I appreciate that, man. For y'all that are in the chat, I appreciate y'all showing up. I'm sorry that this was lagging. But if y'all miss anything, just give me like an hour or so, and it'll be back up, and it's not gonna look like it missed a beat. I assure you. But thank y'all for showing up, and thank y'all for the support, especially Dylan and Houdini over there. I seen that y'all gave me some extra support. I appreciate you. But yeah, again, I'm gonna say thank you again. I'm gonna stop this, and I'll catch some people next week.
Yep. Well, thank you again, guys. Thank you for watching, and well, see you next time, man.
Will do.